Welcome to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff. Today we'll have a vegetable chowder. Our theme is the fall. We're using fall vegetables. Some of the things that we are using are Brussels sprouts, carrots, onions, green peppers, celery, and we're using margarine. And also we're using cream corn. Most people think of a chowder as a New England clam chowder or a seafood chowder, but we are doing a vegetable chowder, something that's heart healthy for you. The fall is here, and we're looking at doing different things for our soup. With winter right around the corner, a soup, a hearty bread, which I don't have today, would be great to go with a good soup. And I'm gonna start out by heating my saucepan here at a medium temperature here, and then I would add the margarine to it. The margarine, it requires for 2 tablespoons of margarine, so I will incorporate that into the recipe. As you may notice, I have a board here beside me. What I'm going to do also, cut the vegetables fresh and add them to the product, to the soup. I have some fresh diced potatoes here, cream corn that I'm already creamed earlier, and over here to my right I have some Brussels sprouts and half an onion, green bell pepper, black pepper, and I have my salt off to my left, carrots, which I julienne already, so I cut those. All right. I'm going to start by adding the margarine. You may notice I swirl it around a little bit. Let that pan get kind of greased up there. And now I'm going to put my gloves on. And cut up my onion. My onion and my carrots. One of the secrets to cooking a good soup, you want to start off with your hard vegetables first. Even though an onion is not a hard vegetable, carrots is. So that carrot, once it hit that heat, all the fresh vitamins and nutrients will come out of it. And that'll be one of the key ingredients going into the soup. And I'm gonna cut it into small dices, bite size, so it'll fit in the soup. That'll look nice on a soup spoon. I julienne it first, and then I just diced it afterwards. And I would slowly incorporate it into the pan. The sizzle of a carrot. A carrot actually gets sweet after it gets hot, once you bring heat to it. Then I'm going to take an onion, cut it so. I'm not going to use all this onion. Add it to the soup as well. You want to cook your vegetables till they're translucent, kind of light and tender, not crunchy, because they're going to continue to cook once you put them into the soup. You may notice I got it on a medium flame because I don't want to burn my onions that's in the product. Next product I'm going to put in there is a little celery. A lot of chefs call that, by adding onion, carrot, and celery to it, a meatball. That's a base to a soup. And that's one of the things that a lot of chefs, high-end chefs, I should say, would say that to one of their staff members. Make me a meal, Paul. And then add no celery to it. Because celery is another one of those vegetables that's kind of bitter. But a lot of people use it on their salads and all that kind of stuff. I like to use it on a soup. Well, actually, I like to use it on anything I can. If I could use it on fish, I'll use it on fish. But I'm going to add a little bit more margarine to the product, so those vegetables will get tender more easily. You may notice I have a short spoon here, but that's for a reason. Normally I would have a wooden spoon, but this short spoon, it gets down into the product. While that's cooking slowly, while that's cooking, I'm going to take my green bell pepper. You may notice the pepper, I cut it completely in half. That's a whole bell pepper. I cut it in half for a reason, to pull the cavity out so I won't waste the product. This is the cavity here of it. That's a good product right there to use in a soup too, the whole thing. And this is a julienne cut. I'm not going to cut the whole bell pepper itself. Just enough for this soup. Most people would julienne it in sticks. I just want to rough cut it because it's going into a soup. That little bit of sizzle there. Now I want to incorporate the salt. It says for half a teaspoon of salt. A lot of people can't have salt. Me, I can't have salt either, but I like the flavor of salt. It messes with people's diet a lot of times, hypertension, blood pressure and all that. But if I had a little white wine or something to go into the soup, that'll evaporate all that sodium to that product. Wine is a little sweet. And now I'm adding my black pepper to it. The reason why I'm putting the black pepper in there now, because if I put it in there as a liquid form with the water and milk and all that, you won't be able to taste the flavor of the pepper. Again, heat brings out the flavor of that pepper in that product. So you can truly taste the peppers, the onions, and all those flavors. Now it requires for 3 cups of water to go in it. And then I'm going to let it come to a boil, a light simmer, and I will add my potatoes to it when we come back. All right? Welcome back to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff. I'm Chef Jeffrey. Today is vegetable chowder, and so far I have in my saucepan is celery, onions, carrots, and green bell pepper. and salt and pepper. As soon as it comes to a boil, I'm gonna add these potatoes here to it and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Okay? Coming to a nice good boil, as you can see there. All those nice, crisp, and pretty vegetables that's diced up fine. It's amazing. I just like cooking. And I added potatoes to it. Potatoes are one of the things that makes it a chowder. The soup already began to get a lot of body to it. I wish I could bring it out there and show it to some of the residents out here, because it began to get body now. And once I'm gonna put my lid on it, let it come to a boil. I know that's gonna mess up the view of the camera, but that right there, let it simmer for a few minutes, and then I come back and add my corn to it, and it'll be nice and crisp. While I'm waiting on that, I'm gonna do something a little bit different to my sweet potato. I'm gonna blacken that and use it as a garnish for my soup. And it'll change the flavor of the soup. I always do something different to the dish itself. Oops. Let me cut up a few sprouts also and put in there, because I like my sprouts. These green Brussels sprouts are good in vitamins, are good iron, a good source for, especially coming into the winter months. You'll be nice and warm just from something simple as this. Eat enough of it. That's why your mom and dad always tell you, eat your vegetables, so you won't have thin blood, for one. All right. And cut these bad boys up just a little bit. You want to have it where it'll fit on a spoon, a nice spoon. And these are already been cooked a little bit, so it shouldn't take long for these to get tender, because anybody knows a Brussels sprout, when it's not cooked all the way, it's pretty tough to eat, and it's very hard to chew. And a lot of people say it's bitter. They don't like Brussels sprouts, but Brussels sprouts is a good good source of vitamin. Wow, we're getting a good boil there. And this is one of those soups, you can start it in the day, and in the morning, and by noontime, it's good and ready for you. If you start out with raw potatoes, which I try to encourage people to do. Today, with a time strength, I started out with pre-cooked potatoes. I pre-cooked them back there in the kitchen myself, and so they'll be nice and tender. All right, like I said, with the sweet potato, I'm gonna take it and slice it into slices, thin slices, and with a saucepan, I'm gonna take a little margarine, and later on I'm gonna take it and saute these with a blackening seasoning, and kind of spice it up a little bit, make it taste wonderful. I'm an impatient person. You know, they always tell you never to look into the pot while it's boiling, otherwise it'll never boil. So I'm an impatient person, so I have to learn how to be patient. With this flour I have here, I'm gonna take a little bit of the milk I have and make a slurry. A slurry is a cream base with the milk and flour, and that'll be the thickener to thicken the soup up, right along with the starch in the potatoes itself. And you kind of want your slurry to be the consistency of a pancake batter. And if you like pancakes, you would know the consistency of that. I hope you can get a good shot of that. Got to get all these roux balls out, we call them. Otherwise, it'll be in the soup. That's almost the consistency of a pancake batter, a little thin pancake batter. Okay, and check on my soup. Now we're cooking with gas. As you can see, it begin to boil heavily now. And I'm gonna take this corn that I have here, this cream corn, and add to it. It requires 1 cup of cream corn for this recipe. Can you guys smell that out there? I will bring it around and show it to you shortly. Now I'm going to add the corn to it. Corn is another one of those high carb vegetables. And this recipe, it does have quite a few carbs in it. Some people may say, well, this is high in carbs. But it has 17 grams of carbs per serving in here. You can see the texture of the soup already begin to change. Now I'm going to thicken the soup up just a little bit with the slurry I told you about. I'm still trying to get some of the flour out of it, so it'll be smooth and I don't have all that in the soup. Now that's a good vegetable chowder here. You got all of some of your favorites. You got your Brussels sprouts, celery, onion, potatoes, carrots, all those great vegetables. Especially heading into the fall. Let it simmer for just a moment. While it's doing that, I am going to take my seasoning here, which is a Cajun seasoning, a blackened seasoning, and I'm going to take the saute pan here that I have, and I'm going to saute these sweet potatoes. I'm going to blacken them just a little bit so the flavor of the sweet potato in this will be a garnish for the soup, and it'll add a little spice to the soup. And that's just my way of adding a small touch of my own to the recipe. That smells so wonderful. Now on to the next step. I would encourage everybody to try this, just a little bit of it once they get done. I did this back in the back of the kitchen in the flavor of the sweet potato and the blackening seasoning. If you got a steak, that's the best way to go. Steak and blackened seasoning on a sweet potato. I know a lot of people's used to the honey and cinnamon and all those things in it, but if you like flavor, blackening seasoning would do it. I know somebody out there said, I would have never thought of putting blackening seasoning on a sweet potato. Well, you know, you don't never know anything until you try it once. Now, well, that's blackening. All right. Yeah, I guess I can spoon up some of this soup. And let somebody try if they like. I hope you can get a good shot of that. That right there, that's the finished product. Would you like to try the soup there, Mrs. Quinn? Come on right here. All right here. I'll let you try some of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me give you a napkin here and let me know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Jessie Quinn.
It's hot.
She's one of our residents here at Vernon Woods. She's been here for a while. Could you tell us a little something about you, Mrs. Quinn?
No, I've been here almost 7 years, and I enjoy living here, and it's really nice. And you're a fantastic chef.
Well, thank you. I will appreciate it. I love my job.
I'm sure you do.
All right.
This is very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Nothing like a good winter soup.
Now finish it up.
Yeah, this is yours.
Take it and
That's
take it.
yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the tail end of the show. Thank you for tuning in to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff today. As you can see, the vegetable chowder was a hit with one of our residents, and I hope it's a favorite to one of yours as well. You can also look us up on Facebook and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. All right, thank you.